know that.
Oh yeah. I was like, man, what is they doing?
I looked
Why
at
can't-
Dennis. I looked at say, bro. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like,
every game.
oh my God. I said, never again. I'm coming back. Nope. Hey, boys know what their real work is at.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of cats are fluke. A lot of cats are, you know, like I said, doing it for the money. You know, doing it for social media. But like I told you before, we was talking that I don't train receivers nor tight ends. I develop weapons.
Flip the switch, move in another direction. Let's talk about the drop hip tackles, man.
Uh-oh.
This rule just came out.
My first dog that I ever trained in the league was my dog Emmanuel. That's my dog for life,
Okay.
man. I branched out, started training Emmanuel Sanders. Here comes CD. Here comes Jalen Waddle. Here come all these guys because from the perspective of what they need, I have.
Yeah. What it do? It's your boy Brock, and this is the broadcast. I'm without my co-host today. We don't know where he at. We got to put him on the back of a milk carton. But today we have a special guest, a guy that I really enjoy watching him coach. He's developed a bunch of players. He's been coaching for 14 years. He's been known to be called the wide receiver specialist. He has worked with many names in the game. He has worked with and is working with many names in the game, such as Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb, and many more other athletes and receivers. Your best receivers, he's worked with. And today we're introducing my guy, Mr. Delfonte Diamond, man. Man, appreciate you coming on the show, man. Hopefully I got everything right, you know. But I'm solo today. But it's just me and you. We was chopping it up earlier, and we're going to pretty much do the same thing, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Appreciate you having you on the show, man. Give us a little bit, get the viewers a little bit about yourself, your bio.
Oh, man, a little bit about me, man. I've been coaching 14 years now, man. Truly a blessing. Got about 5,000 clients, about 300 NFL guys, receivers and tight ends, like my boy Brock said. CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Saquon Barkley, Tank. I train the whole entire receiving corps for the Texans. Hey,
Come on, man.
Hey, man, I'm him, to be honest with you.
Yes, sir.
But I'm humble, though. I'm humble
Yes,
with
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. I want to be honest with you, brother, and I want to give you your flowers because I'm not a receiver, but I kind of – receiver and D lineman, they kind of stay the same. You know, you work your hands, you work your feet, and I was highly impressed with the way your coaching style from the beginning to the end. And what I mean by that is your fundamentals aren't just run at this cone, running that next cone. No, it's breaking it down from the snap, is breaking it down from the get off the release. Like you have high school kids who have probably never really been at this level, and you developed them into tremendous players, bro. And I just want to tell you, bro, you're a hell of a coach, bro.
My brother, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
yes,
you.
sir. So what got you into coaching? You've been coaching 14 years, doing your thing. Like, what got you into coaching?
Man, I just had a Nick for it. You know, every kid's dream is to get to the league. I wasn't blessed to get there, but this is the next step that's close to it. But the most important thing that got me into training was the youth. That's the most important thing, the next generation. So I know for a fact that, I can begin to impact them, in so much of a phenomenal way.
Did you have anybody that you looked up to or that you felt like poured into you, and that's the reason why you love coaching today?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my mentor, my uncle. I call him Uncle. Coach Keith Williams, Coach Dub. That's my brother for life, man. He coached me up in every aspect of the game, man. I will forever be grateful for him.
Yeah. Where do you get like your coaching techniques? Because they're a lot different than normal coaching.
Yeah.
I played in the league 11 years, and the things that you teach, it's almost like like you break it down a little bit more than what a normal coach would do. Could you tell us a little bit about like your coaching techniques? What helped you develop them, and like what makes you the great coach you are today?
Well, fun fact about me, everybody call me the AI of the year of 2026.
Okay.
I'm already ahead of the game.
Okay, come on, man.
I got my minor degree in physical therapy, so I know how the body works. You can't go online to get my type type of teaching. So it's just a simple fact that I know exactly what a receiver needs. And from my creativity, from my mind spec and my perspective, that's what I go off of.
What do you think, like your, coaching techniques and techniques in the game have changed? The game has changed since I've been in the league. I came in the league 2012, and I seen the game change within 4 or 5 years of me being in it. They were running the ball. I remember playing San Fran, and they had this big ass offensive line, and I was just like, bro, they double teaming the fuck out of us today, And then a couple of years later, they're motioning this person,
All
that
type of
person.
stuff,
It's RPOs being implanted in the league and all this, and I'm like, bro, is the game changing? Bro, I'm running like a motherfucker. Like I done ran 10 screens today. Like, what are they doing? Like, so how do you keep up your coaching techniques with the game that's constantly changing?
Well, man, dealing with me, I train different. Like, for example, like my middle school, I don't train my middle schoolers like middle schoolers. I train them like high school.
Okay.
High school, like college and so forth and so forth. So I'm always, ahead of the game. From my perspective, I probably study more film than certain NFL cats. So that's why I always get my techniques from, because like you said, the game of football is changing, man. It's ridiculous now. So we have to I have to stay on top of my game to make sure my NFL athletes and every athlete that I train is up to par, man.
We kind of briefly talked about this earlier. Is like the new off-season coaches that are coming into the game that you see, and I follow a bunch of coaches and guys who train and things like that, and you kind of seem to feel like some guys know what they're talking about and some guys don't. Like, what have you seen over these years, like in the whole new what would you call it, influencer coaching type deal? What do you have to say about some of the things that have been going on?
Man, some of that stuff is a fluke, if you ask me, man, because a lot of them cats don't know what they talking about. A lot of them cats just doing it for the likes and comments. They are really not developing these athletes like they should, because from the perspective, for one, ego, for two, all they looking is for the money. So that's what separates me from the pack, and that's why the good Lord got me number one for a reason.
Right.
And so I'm not big on that, I train this guy. Nah, it's all about the athlete when it's all said and done.
Yeah, yeah. Because, when we talked about this, like, I love the way when you put together one of your clips or your reel of, like, Tank Dell, he's in Houston. We talk about that's one of your top guys. I love the fact that you can go and show drills that you've worked with him on, and then he'll also use that stuff in the game. Because a lot of guys, they'll tell you a bunch of stuff to do, but you like, damn, how I'm gonna do this in the game? Like, how I'm gonna do this within a play? Or they telling me to run my, 3-step slant off my inside foot, and I don't know, but you get a lot of people just talking. Like, how do guys get through that? How do guys see through that?
Man, it's just a simple fact that boys know what their real work is at.
Yeah.
A lot of cats are fluke. A lot of cats are, like I said, doing it for the money, doing it for social media. But like I told you before, we was talking, that I don't train receivers nor tight ends. I develop weapons. So from that type of perspective, I know exactly how to train them, because anybody can train you, but not everyone can develop you.
Right.
So from that perspective, I know that how I train these individuals, we work on game time situational. So once you put yourself in that position, and I get phone calls from them boys every other day, they always telling me, hey, coach, we did these drills every single day, and now these DBs are now looking like cones and hurdles. So it become clockwork now.
Yeah.
So now it's easy. So, man, that's how I get past that, because of the simple fact, man, ain't nobody doing it like me.
Do you develop new techniques? Because, like you said, the game is changing. Like, how do you come up with your new techniques? Like,
my mindset, man. My mindset is different. I can't give all the juice on camera.
No, facts.
Fact, it's a lot of cats gonna be watching, trying to take.
They already watching.
Yeah,
they already watching, bro. It's plenty of people. I be like, that's not his drill. I know. I seen that drill somewhere.
Man, you know it. Oh, man, that's Coach D.
Yeah,
man,
bro.
I already know it, man. It's just a simple fact. A lot of them cats going to take everything they got to do, which is cool. I don't have a problem with them taking the drills as long as you teaching these boys on how to begin to translate it into the game.
Yeah.
I don't care about you stealing, you see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, man, like, my mindset is different. I add new arsenal, new weapons every single day. So, hey, I got to stay on it.
Man. Because, I mean, for me, like, off-season training, I think it's very important. It's very important.
Yes,
you need a skills coach, to kind of help you throughout your development. Because, over my years, like I remember there were segments, in my off season when, we talked about BT Jordan. BT Jordan was a coach who trained off season, and now he's in the league, he's coaching in the league. Do you think that's what these new influencer coaches are trying to do, is follow that blueprint of, okay, I'm gonna get a lot of followers, get a lot of guys to say that I work with, so I can get into the league, that little jump start into the league? Do you think a lot of influencers are trying to follow that blueprint, or they just out here talking?
I believe they out here talking, for one. For two, they trying to take the easy route. They don't see what me. Shout out to my dog BT.
Yes, sir. Shout out to BT, man.
They don't know what we had to go through.
Right.
Being kicked off fields and cops called on us. We can't work on this field and all type. They didn't see the struggle on what we had to begin to go through to get where we are today. So from that perspective, I always tell people the reason why I became successful is because from the perspective I got accustomed in taking the stairs. Because I might slip every now and then. I might break my. People want to take that elevator up, easy access, got some nice little AC blowing, little music playing. It's not like that. So a lot of them cats will never get there because of the simple fact that anything that's phenomenal have to be tested. And me and BT was tested multiple times, but one thing about it, man, we stayed the course. We stayed the course, and everything else gonna fall into place.
Yeah, you already know. How valuable do you think like off-season coach is?
Oh, it's real valuable. It's real valuable because I know for a fact, for one, on every NFL team, they not really teaching what we teaching. They teaching old school, but it's real valuable because from the perspective, it's always good to seek outside, authentic, real help. So you can begin to stay on top of your game, you see what I'm saying? Because coming from injuries, coming from recovery, coming from training, it all plays a big part in the off season.
Right.
And we got to be prepared for in season, and you got to be prepared for off season. So yeah.
Man, 'cause, for me, I looking at BT and seeing his growth and him going to the league, I kind of see that happening for you. I see that happening. I'm speaking into existence.
Come on,
because
man.
that's how we rocking.
Yes, sir.
But for me, it's just like, are coaches going to be accepting of you? Because it's a lot of egos in this coaching game, bro. It's a lot of egos in this coaching game because, coaches just feel like, hey, man, I've been doing this so long. I done had so many, players, and I developed this guy, that guy.
Pro Bowl and all type of stuff.
Right, so like, how do you kind of get these coaches to understand, like, bro, I'm not threatening your position, your job. I really want to add to what you already doing.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like these coaches are be able to go over that bridge of like, having egos and being like, man, I'm gonna accept, this guy right here because I've seen his work, I've seen, the players he had, I've seen it translate to the game. I feel like he'll be a valuable asset to me.
Exactly.
Like, what do you think? How do you think these coaches can get over that?
Man, to be honest with you, I believe some of them ain't gonna never get over it because, like we talked about, it's all about egos, and a position, a title. I've been in this game for 10, 11, whatever they've been in the game. I trained this guy. I developed so many Pro Bowls. Why do I need Coach D to come in and help? So from that perspective, the reason why they are like that is because they feel threatened.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because once something becomes addictive, it becomes attractive. So now from the league, elevating that it's moving, it's getting faster by the year. They don't understand that, and they think they can still catch up to it, which they can't. So now when they see somebody like me, a young one, that can really come in and change the game completely, they feel threatened. So a lot of cats ain't going to really accept that because of egos.
Man, come on, man. Y'all see these coaches out here grinding. Because I think it's a lot. You have to filter through the bullshit. Because we just said there's a lot of influence in coaching out there.
Yeah, you got to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to filter through the bullshit. But I'm saying it here first to 32 organizations out there. Yeah. This man the real deal right here.
Hey.
This man the real deal right here. You can see just off of his reels and a lot of his work that he put in on his Instagram, man, you see this stuff translating to the field. And I know I talked about it, Tank Dale, earlier, but it's things that he does, when he's working out with you, he puts down on the field. Exactly. And it's saucy. And you see why it gets him open. Like, he's breaking people off. Like, he's getting in, in the blind spots of cornerbacks and shit, and they like, man, it look
Man,
like every
telling
time
you.
they highlight him throughout the game, like the Texans will be playing, and they'll highlight him. Oh my God,
Yeah.
he broke the receiver off. Oh my God, I'm like, bruh, that's Delfonte,
Hey, I'm
man.
telling
Hey,
you, man.
if you watch his drills throughout the summer, they working on this,
I'm
so it's
telling you.
easy to put it on in the game, man.
All day, every day.
Dog, I mean, I'm just, for me watching that, bro, I'm just proud, because I remember we were talking about a guy, Conklin. I think it was
Tyler Conklin, my dog. Shout out to my dog.
He was, he played for Minnesota, and I played against him when he was a young bull, and I kind of felt like, okay, yeah, he ain't no receiver. Like when he come in the game, he blocking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started working with you, and I'm just kind of like, I want to see what happened. Like, I'm just kind of watching from the background, just like,
yeah.
I just want to see what happened because that's a blocking tight end. Let's see what happened. And then he goes to the Jets, and he going off. He going off. And, like, he's shaking people. He getting the rock. And I'm like, bro, he never got the rock like that in Minnesota. So it just was like, dog, that coaching is helping. Your coaching is helping, dog. You transform this guy into a blocking – what we say, a blocking tight end. They get 12, 11 personnel, and you see his number come in, oh, they running the ball.
Yeah.
Now, it's diversified. Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like, he in the game, they could run the ball, or they could play action.
That's what I'm saying.
Or they could just come up three-step. He doing it all. So to see, like, your coaching translating into the NFL, I don't see why you shouldn't get your shot. I don't see why you shouldn't get your shot.
Yes,
Let's kind of flip the switch, move in another direction. Let's talk about the drop hip tackles, man. This rule just came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
NFL has I don't know what you call it, made it illegal to drag a guy down
From the back.
From the back. Pause. No diddy.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
big pause.
drag him down, and I feel like it was a desperation tackle. That's a desperation tackle.
Yeah.
You got a guy bigger than you, and you really just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel now with this whole drop hip tackle, I feel like a lot of guys go give up touchdowns because if you're in front, a guy's running full speed, and you feel like, I'm not going to make it. Like, I don't want to dive and try to bring him down. Like, you like, fuck it. Like, all right, it is what it is. Next play.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel, in my opinion, you're going to see a whole lot more missed tackles, things given up, because now you're just telling, like, now how we go coach this?
Exactly.
How do we coach a guy running full speed? You're running full speed. Like, what do? You can't really gator tackle at that point. You're chasing him down. You're running full speed.
Exactly.
Like, what do you do? So, what do you feel? You're offensive. You're on the offensive side of the ball. How you feel about the drop hip tackle?
Well, man, it's good and the bad thing. The bad thing about what you said. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL becomes flag football now. Coming from a defensive standpoint, because now we taking the fun out of it. I was raised up on Ray Lewis, Eric Dawkins, all them boys laying the hat. Pause. So now, coming from offensive side, it's a plus because it reduces the risk of getting injured.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because, you'll tackle a cat from the back, pause, and you'll roll, and then you can risk him, tearing your ACL or your ankle.
Right.
So it's both ways. So, from the offensive side, of course we're going to love it.
They clap. Hey, they don't want to say it or not, but they low-key.
Yes.
They give him one of them fist pumps, They like, yes, save my knees,
Yes. Yes, sir.
And today, shockingly, one of our NFL vets, a guy who's been in this league a long time, Mr. Vontae Davis, rest in power, King. He died today, and it got me thinking, like, just not knowing his situation and checking in, and you talked about it earlier, like, man, you got to check in on the ones that you feel like got it all together, man.
You got to.
You got to check on the ones that feel like you got it in together, because, even I have a group chat with a lot of my OGs, and, we checked in today just because we seen that. We were like, bro, like, hey, how y'all doing, man? Because, a lot of guys, we hold things inside. A lot of men, black men in general, we don't talk about our stresses. We don't talk about mental health, as a priority. And you seeing a lot of guys, and not saying that his situation was a mental health one, but you start to see, like, man, we supposed to be invincible. This game makes us feel invincible, and then when we get out of this game and we don't have it no more, we need that support. We need that support because you lead this league, and it's almost like, all right, we'll see you, like and then you on your own. You had all these fans and people supporting you, and then now you're not playing. You're not, boosting anybody fantasy numbers up, and it's kind of like you get left alone, man.
Exactly right.
Do you feel like that's a key thing is to put mental health at the top of your priority, being a football player?
For sure. For sure, because, we was talking earlier about it, man. You never know what people going through. It's always good to check in. That's why I'm different with my training, because from the perspective, I'm more concerned about off the field than on the field.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? On the field, I can see you. We physically working out. We getting it in. But off the field, when you leave those gates, you can't take old Coach D with you.
Right.
You got to come back and see me. So I'm always checking in on my boys.
Right.
Because you never know what people going through, man. A lot of people deal with depression. I dealt with it. Suicide, I dealt with it. So I know for a fact that, we just have to begin to, have that significant, authentic circle group that's, that's really supportive.
Yeah.
That, a lot of men, like you said, us black men can't find hardly, because we was talking about it. That super cape becomes really deadly on our shoulders.
Yeah.
We trying to make every decision. We trying to help everybody. We trying to do this. All at the same time trying to get ourselves together and keep our head above floor.
Right,
so I believe that mental health, man, should be top priority before football, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's really key.
Because you gotta have that your mental. Because I think about it like my peace, my peace at home, like my wife, my family. If they good, I can go out there and run into a wall.
Yeah.
But if they not good, and I'm, because if they're good, my peace, my world is fine.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm stressed, I'm stressing them out.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it's like a lot of the times, and it's hard to kind of voice like, baby, I'm feeling this way, or hey, you talking to your homie, hey, bro, I'm, because you feel like I don't want to be nobody burden.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me is like feeling
that's what
like
that is.
I don't want to be nobody burden. I don't want to have nobody worried about me, or, like you say, checking in on me, because you feel like I'm a man. I'm supposed to have everything. I'm supposed to, but there is a breaking point.
Oh yeah.
There's a breaking point for a lot of men out here, and I just want to say, man, y'all be vulnerable, man. Talk to your loved ones. Be transparent. Be very transparent. Don't matter if you raw with it or not. It's like you have to be open about how you feeling, and really like being insightful on like truly how you feeling. Not, this person is making me this. How are you feeling? How can you control how you feel? And I'm just starting to learn that.
Exactly,
I feel like it's important to kind of shed some light on that, because it gets now. I'm glad that it gets a lot of light, but back in the day, man,
it wasn't.
And I still say today, like it still doesn't, to the point where it happens aftermath. After something serious,
something happens.
Now it's like but we need to focus on that even more on the good days, man. When you good, you need to be checking. Man,
I'm trying to tell you.
So yeah, man. I just wanted to kind of hit on that, because a lot of guys who watch this podcast, ex-players, things like that, and I just want to let y'all know, man. Be real about it. I struggle with it. You heard from him. He struggled with it. So, don't think you're alone.
Exactly.
Kind of switching the flip to entrepreneur. This is the broadcast. We always talk about, entrepreneur side, the business side of what you got going. Talk to us about, how you started, your business as far as like coaching guys and, getting guys to work with you.
Okay, yeah. Hey, man, for sure, before I get started, hey, shout out to my boy Footwork King, man.
Footwork King, let's go.
It's going to forever be my dog. Me, I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm going to show love where it's due. You see what I'm saying? Without him, I would never met them NFL boys.
Come on, man.
So, man, from that, it's just a simple fact that I had to be obedient, because God told me to move. I wasn't obedient at first, but he placed me in a situation that I had no choice but to listen to him. My first dog that I ever trained in the league was my dog, Emmanuel Sellers. That's my dog
Okay,
for life,
okay.
man. Eastside, shout out to my dog, Eastside.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
And ever since then, man, you know, social media has evolved. Now all it takes is one person put you out there. So ever since then, I left out, I branched out, started training Emmanuel Sanders. Here comes CD. Here comes Jalen Waddle. Here come all these guys because from the perspective of what they need, I had.
Yeah.
And from the entrepreneurship, of course, you know, it's gonna be difficult at first. You know, branching off by yourself.
Right.
You know, you gotta sometimes find your way the hard way. I had to, you know, but you know, entrepreneurship, it was good aftermath, but you know, when I first jumped off, it was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But you know, once I
could
I
you
had
talk
the
about that real briefly? I mean, I don't know if you want to tell any stories, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
like I don't want to shed light on. It's always good. I kind of want to show people like, hey, it's gonna be. It ain't all daisies and roses when you step out on on your own. Like it's gonna be some turmoil, some struggles, going through this process. Like, could you talk a little bit about like, your struggles and what was kind of tough for you to start your business?
Yeah, man. Nah, it's not gonna be all roses. It never was when you first jump off. It was difficult at first, man. I only had 3 faithful clients, man.
Okay.
That's all I had. You know, I was living out that was $67 a week. I had to make some shape.
Right.
I said, hey, look here, Lord, you told me to leave. I became obedient.
Right.
You got to make a way.
Right.
Right. And it's crazy how God worked because it's simple fact that as soon as I left, because way before I left, I built a relationship with these youth, and the parents took notice.
Okay.
And I was real spiritual with these guys
Right.
and just showing them, okay, it's not all about football, got to have that plan A, B, C, D, all. I was just teaching them, the proper things and what a father should. And a lot of them cats look up at me as a father.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how God did it because as soon as I left, my phone died, right? I got to the crib, I charged my phone up. My phone charged up like 160 missed calls, 60 messages. I'm like, did somebody die?
Right.
What's going on? Like, did somebody got to a wreck? What's going on?
Right.
So I listened to one of the voicemail. Hey, what's going on? Coach D, I heard you left, man. You had done so much for my son, both of my sons, man. You really instilled so much inside of them. Hey, man, whatever you go, I'm coming with you. So from that point on right there, for me taking that leap of faith and becoming obedient, I went from 3 faithful clients to 300.
Amen.
That fast.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it ain't nothing but God. Hey,
wake up.
Yeah. The blessing that it can't be nothing but God. It can't be nothing but God.
Can't be nothing. Then ever since then, man, it's been nothing but a blessing, man. And then now just word of mouth because, the good Lord allowed me to become number 1 for 2023, the top NFL receiver trainer. I'm too grateful.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it, man.
24, I'm coming for you.
Yes, sir.
Because one thing about me, I never become content. I need more. I want more. But, man, it was truly a challenging time challenging phase at one time. I was struggling with it, dealing with depression. And I'm like, man, I know God ain't do me like this.
Right.
He
ain't bring me this far. He ain't bring me this far.
And then all of a sudden, boom. And one thing I know people fail to realize, he will forever have a ram in the bush. He will forever have, everything already laid out. It's just us becoming more obedient to begin to not be God, but trust him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But it was a struggle at first, but, man, once the ball started rolling, it was all she wrote then.
It's something about being obedient,
It's
man.
the key
It's
factor.
something about being obedient. Even though you feel it, you like, it's gonna be tough, God.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be tough. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I know I can't do it without you.
Man, I promise you.
You know what I'm saying? And it's something about just walking out on faith. Because I remember getting drafted or going into the draft, and getting that first to second round, pick back, and you like, man, I'm thinking about my situation. Like, I can change my family's life. Like,
I'm telling you.
I don't know if I want to miss this opportunity because you got a lot of guys, man. You can go back to college, get hurt, anything on your draft stock. I just didn't want to do it, so I was like, bro, I'm gonna take this leap of faith, God. You got to have my back because I don't know how you go do it.
Oh, he got you.
And then, Lord behold, I'm in the green room with these guys in New York where I feel like I don't deserve to be because I didn't feel like I was a top guy. I didn't feel like I was a top guy, but I knew what that grade said and what God had said, and I just felt like, hey, I'm gonna walk on this leap of faith. And I was drafted first round 2012, 14 pick.
That's a blessing, man.
That's crazy just how it happened. It's like it wasn't a, I'm going to just do this because, I want some money. Da, da, da. I was like, man, I want to change my family's perspective. I seen what they were dealing with, what they were going through. I was like, man, I can really change my family life.
Exactly.
And when I got the money, got to the league, what I do, I changed my family, went and bought my mom a crib, moved out the hood. None of my brothers been to jail. None of my sisters been to jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I look at that and I'm like, bro, you did that. Yeah. God, you did that.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Because, other people in my family, other cousins, uncles, things like that, they done been through that. Yeah. They done been through the system. Mm-hmm. But with me being obedient, even before just leaving the draft, being obedient, going to workouts, going to volunteer workouts at high school when everybody was going to house parties and things like that. I was going to them voluntary workouts. Yeah. I was making sure I was working, making sure I was working, and guys asked me like, what is it, that got you to the league? And I was like, bro, it's something about having integrity and doing what you're supposed to be doing when nobody watching.
That's the key factor.
Doing what you're supposed to do with nobody watching, bro. Showing up to them workouts, showing up to them extra showings or whatever. Mm-hmm. Man, you down the line, you like, damn, that shit was tough, but look at me now. Yeah. Yeah. Look at me now. Yeah. Look at where I'm at now. I played 11 years in the league, and I never felt like I was that guy. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was a great player. I never wanted to mess up. I never wanted to be the reason why I hindered the team, So I made sure, like, I wasn't going to fuck up. But I knew I wasn't never, like, the guy. just kind of being real myself, being honest. And I played 11 years. Yeah. Played 11 years. God blessing, no injuries, but – I played 11 years just by doing the right thing, being obedient. Mm-hmm.
And to real quick, to piggyback off, I ain't mean to cut you off, Brock, man. And one thing about God, man, one thing that he will forever do, he will take your complete situation out of your control on purpose. Mm. So from that perspective, if God specifically told you, Brock, hey, look here, turn right, turn left, don't talk to her, let him go. Don't talk to him. Stop right here. If God specifically told you exactly how you was going to become successful, where would your faith be? In yourself. So from that perspective on what's needed, I told you, anything that's phenomenal have to be tested. We're going to have to go through the process. But for you becoming obedient and taking that leap of faith, I'm telling you, everything will forever fall into place. Man. Everything. I'm telling you.
That was inspirational, man. I want to get you to kind of give us insight of,
I got more.
Man,
I got more.
Guys who are watching this, guys who are thinking about coaching and wanting to get into coaching, and maybe not doing the GA and, going that route, and maybe they love coaching, they want to do what you do. What would you have to say to that person?
Discipline. You got to become disciplined because most cats can't become consistent. Mm-hmm. Because discipline ignites consistency. But the most important thing is for that up-and-coming trainer that's trying to get out there and branch out, man, allow God to become the center. I'm telling you, allow him to become the center, not parts of your life, but your entire life. And that's why people mess out because of the simple fact that in private, he ain't in the center. Right. But in public, you speaking this gospel, you encouraging, you uplifting, but in private, you living a life of sin. Mm-hmm. God is not going to bless your sin. Right. So now, from that perspective, the motivation I have for y'all is to keep him first. Stay disciplined, stay consistent. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, everything else will fall into place.
Man, it's crazy you say that because I was watching. You know how you kind of. I take my little tidbits from every little post I see, but it was this. It was a spiritual post about, and it was this Indian guy. He was saying, a lot of people don't know what worship is. They think worship is going in, singing a song, putting your hands up, dancing. But he was like, that's not worship. Worship is in a situation of, me personally, let's be real, transparent, addicted to porn. Mm-hmm. If you going out there and you thinking like, dang, I shouldn't watch that. I shouldn't watch that because I know that's not right for my spirit. Mm-hmm. That's worship. That's worship. Because you being obedient to God without people being around you, without anybody telling you something. You being obedient to God out of your heart. Come on. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's and it's something to that, man. It's something to being obedient out of your heart, not just I gotta do this, but like being, God, okay, I trust you. I love you. You say this ain't right for me, I'm not gonna do it. And you see, like, okay, I got a constant, theme of like, okay, not doing it, not doing it. Then it's like, okay, why do I need that?
Exactly.
And you start reading on like, the eyes are the gateway to your soul and things like that, and why you can't be looking at certain things. You can't see. So, man, I ain't mean to preach, but, man.
No. Come on.
I just seen how good God has been in my life and just how obedient I am. And I'm really hard on myself because I'm one of them Christians like, dang, if I mess up, like, I don't want nobody to look at me because I feel like I'm a mess up. Mm-hmm. But God, God showed me, like, you mess up because you got a testimony. Yeah. You got to explain to people, like, what you did, how you got to where you were. You didn't get to where you were by yourself.
At all.
And tell people. So that, for me, it's like I always got to go back to, I look back on my career and I just think like, God, thank you. Like, because I didn't do none of it by myself. Man, you could. I didn't do none of it by myself. But yeah, man, hey, so, we kind of got to the end of the show where we, try to get your information, get people to find you. Where can people find you on your socials?
All social media, man. Delfonte Diamond, Twitter, IG, Facebook, TikTok, all that. You see what I'm saying? You can find me anywhere. Y'all see me all over. So, hey, man, I don't care if you 5-star, no star, undrafted, free agent, going overseas. You want that work? Let's work. Let's go to work.
Sir.
Period.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Hey, because it's nothing but work, man. Hey, and it's real work. You're not coming up here. We're not coming up here to play.
Ain't no play, man.
We ain't no playing no receiver drill, bringing your cameraman just to show your team. Nah, this real work. We coming to develop you. Because I know the BS that go on, bro.
Come on.
You know that one guy that show up on that one day, bring his cameraman out, run some routes, and put a 5-track on it. Oh, man, so-and-so been working. He been putting in that work.
Never see him again. You ain't see him again.
Never see him again. But, man, yeah, man. So, man, this is the end of the show, man. I just want the people to continue to follow us, the broadcast, on Instagram. Also follow Brock Brand Clothing. That's my clothing. That's my clothing line. We're doing big things, ready to do more things in the spring and in the summer. So y'all stay tuned. And y'all know, man, if y'all been rocking with me since the beginning, y'all know the motto. Don't get ready, stay ready. Peace.